You're welcome to Cstv News 24 on Cstv. For more news updates, you can follow us on all social media handles at CSTVGH. Cstv News is brought to you by Yap Decoration, Sarah's Dream Jewelries, Treats by Manel KX Graphics Company Limited, Rema Osher Agency, Celeste Sweet Tom Brown, and Amsel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing. Now, in the headlines, President John Dramani Mahama has reassured Ghanaians in his commitment in building the country. Also, tidal waves destroyed 51 houses on the international front. Dozens found alive in metal containers after Indian avalanche. There's many more stories to be coming your way on our news bulletin, as well as weather report. My name is Dr. Smelta City. Welcome back. Now the news in details. President John Dramani Mahama has reassured Ghanaians in his commitment in building the country. Whilst fellowshipping with the clergy, he stated,
"During our previous meeting, I assured you of my dedication to better governance if the Lord saw me through the elections. Now that he has done that, I stand here today to reaffirm that promise. Already within the first 120 days of my presidency, we have taken very decisive steps to implement key policies that will steer Ghana towards the progress and prosperity we all seek. One of my first major decisions was to lead by example in the area of governance, that's to keep my word. I pledged to appoint no more than 60 ministers and ensure an efficient and effective government, and I've kept that promise. With my cabinet in place, I'm steadily forming the extended government, ensuring that we have a team that is committed to national service rather than to personal gain. In all things, patience through the Minister of Local Government and Religious Affairs."
Still on the same story, President Mahama hinting on creation of jobs, he stated that the 24-hour economy is not just a slogan but a bold initiative.
Beyond economic stabilization, we are also focusing on what truly matters, and that is creating jobs to empower our young people. Our 24-hour economy policy is not just a slogan, it is a bold and transformative initiative that we believe will open up employment opportunities across multiple sectors, particularly in business development, agriculture, agribusiness, manufacturing, and digital technology. A nation that cannot feed itself cannot prosper, and that is why we're making aggressive interventions, especially in the agricultural sector. Our goal is to make Ghana self-sufficient in food production and become a major exporter of agricultural products. By modernizing farming techniques, investing in agro-processing, and supporting our farmers, we will lay a solid foundation for a prosperous future for our country. As we embark on this journey of national renewal, the race is not for the swift, nor the battle for the strong, nor bread to the wise.
As still on political story, President John Dramani Mahama has revealed that his government will be holding a national economic dialogue on March 3rd and 4th and March 11th, 2025. According to him, the Minister for Finance on his behalf will present the budget estimate for the financial year to Parliament.
The goal is prosperity for all, which must be shared and not the prerogative of a select few. Mr. Speaker, in fulfillment of our 120-day social contract with the Ghanaian people, We have put in place the planning committee to host the National Economic Dialogue. This dialogue is expected to discuss the state of the economy and reach a consensus on the key policies needed to address the devastating economic crisis confronting us. It will support the development of a homegrown fiscal consolidation program, and it will highlight key structural reforms and policy priorities essential for resetting the economy and creating prosperity for all our people.
Member of Parliament for Shiayesu, Stephen Amwa, has criticized the President's comment on Ghana's economy during the State of the Nation address. According to the MP, the President's portrayal of the economy as struggling and his accusations of economic mismanagement against the new Patriotic Party government are unfair.
I see him to be very noble. Politics na mempe na man so home and I'm obu kese the man. And now when the composure he spoke as a father. I mean the composure was very good and then you can't take that away from him. But yes, except that among the same team be a person of force where go MPP and no the cost room to me the respect I have for him is very great. And I'm proud of him so I'm the president. But then some more Canadian man or Canadian Sebi I am summer and yet no cressa. On that yes, only you might even railway sector. I Ghana, yeah, you appreciating you praising good jobs so that I'm encouraged to do more. The railway sector and then another is unprecedented. For no to change called defense ministry. I'm paying you about Kabia to her. Now, Sebi. And then one can say, Ghana, Sankabi to Romania, on one crackers or can say, neighboring countries, Nigeria and West and Tokoya Kosono, indicating, of course, insecurity on our borders.
And now away from politics to other stories in health news, the Ghana Health Service says it is taking steps to improve healthcare accessibility for persons with disabilities by strengthening disability-friendly services in hospitals across the country. At a recent meeting with regional directors, the leadership of the Ghana Health Service emphasized the need to establish facilities that cater for people with disabilities. Speaking on the initiative, a representative of the Ghana Health Service stated that Section 33 of the Disability Act mandates healthcare institutions to provide necessary modifications, priority access, and sign language institutions. A devastating tidal wave disaster has destroyed at least 51 houses and over 300 individuals displaced, in which the community cemetery has been affected. Assembly member for the Agaveji electoral area, Ebenezer Asa, expressed concerns that if the said defense project is not continued, more cemeteries and properties will be lost. He then highlighted the vulnerability of the community, noting that residents now depend on the major road connecting Aflao and Anloga. On this note, we'll go for a commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. You welcome back. You're still live on Cstv News 24 on Cstv. We're streaming live on our YouTube channel at Cstv GH. Now, the news continues. President John Dramani Mahama has revealed that the Ghana Cocoa Board is highly indebted. According to the president, the Ghana Cocoa Board balance sheet indicates a total debt of 32.5 billion Ghana cedis, of which 9.7 billion is due to be paid at the end of September 2025.
Ghana Cocoa Board. The hope of cocoa farmers is also highly indebted. Its balance sheet indicates a total debt of 32.5 billion Ghana cedis, of which 9.7 billion is due to be paid at the end of September 2025.
Moving on to the energy sector, President Mahama stated that the energy sector faces significant financing challenges primarily due to collection and system losses.
Mr. Speaker, my administration inherited an energy sector on the brink of collapse. It was weighed down by unsustainable debt. This unfortunate situation has led to many independent power producers and fuel suppliers threatening to cease their operations. Mr. Speaker, listen to this. Despite collecting over 45 billion cedis in energy sector levies, ESLA, over the last 8 years, the outgone administration has left the Ghanaian people with an energy sector burdened with a staggering debt of 70 billion cedis as of December 2024. It is of deep concern that several state-owned enterprises in the energy sector are struggling to stay afloat, and unless urgent interventions are made, many of them will go under.
The highly anticipated National Economic Dialogue 2025 begins at the Accra International Conference Center, bringing together top economic experts, policymakers, and industry leaders to address Ghana's pressing economic challenges. Led by President John Mahama, the forum will focus on the theme Resetting Ghana, Building the Economy We Want Together. A distinguished lineup of presenters include Leslie Mensah, Professor Ebo Texan, Abina Oseipoku, David Ofosu, Dr. Elik Blim Kwabla, and Franklin Kujo will share insights and policy recommendations. Moving on to other stories, former Chief Justice Sophia Ekufu has called for a review of the 1992 Constitution to ensure it adequately addresses agreements in the industry. Madam Akufu, now serving on the Council of State, the advisory council to the President of Ghana, wondered why Ghana continues to enter into contracts with companies regarding its natural resources. She described the mineral possession agreement between Ghana and foreign investors as woefully unfavorable for the country. Moving on to the international front, dozens of construction workers have been pulled out alive from metal containers after they were buried by an avalanche in India. They survived as the containers which the workers were living in had enough oxygen to sustain them until rescuers could dig from out. 8 out of the 54 were dead, and the other 46 were rescued in an operation that lasted almost 60 hours. We'll go for a commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now let's do some entertainment stories. Gospel artist Celestine Donko has disclosed a commitment to spreading the gospel beyond the stage, revealing that she actively preaches in schools and even in public transport. She explained she started an initiative called Campus Gospel, which focuses on taking the gospel to students in primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions. Renowned actress and media personality Joycelyn Dumas has been appointed Deputy Director for Diaspora Affairs in the President John Mahama government. With an extensive background in media, entertainment and advocacy, she is expected to play a vital role in engaging the diaspora community and spearheading initiatives that benefit most Ghanaians abroad and in the country. In a role, she will be supported by Kofi Ochudako, who was named Director of Diaspora Affairs. And now weather report is up next. Stay tuned. Welcome back now. Weather update for today's afternoon. As the day advances, the entire country will experience sunny conditions. However, from late afternoon into the evening, few areas of southern Ghana are likely to experience thunderstorms with or without rains. In the northern and transition sectors also, dry and hazy conditions will persist with varying intensity throughout the forecast period. Visibility is expected to range between 800 meters and 9,000 meters. And this is where we draw our curtains for today's news bulletin on CSTV. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. President John Dramani Mahama has reassured Ghanaians in his commitment in building the country. Also, tidal waves destroyed 51 houses. On the international front, dozens found alive in metal containers after Indian avalanche. And this is where we draw curtains for today's news bulletin. For more news updates, you can follow us on all social media handles at CSTVGH. CSTV News was brought to you by Yab Decorations, Sarah's Dreams Jewelries, Treats by Manel, KS Graphics, Rema Ocean Agency, Celeste Sweet Tom Brown, and Amsel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing. My name is Dorcas Mensah. Good afternoon.